At Dover and Kansas City, 26th at Talladega. He came into here 11th out of the 12 drivers in the chase.
Still there. Stay on the brake here. Stay on the brake. Keep it up against the wall there. Keep it up the wall.
That car is so bent up. It just got to be hard to handle. Like he said, not enough downforce. It's bent up in the front, bent up in the back. And how can you hold on to it, Andy? You just can't, you know?
Seems like sometimes the slower you go, the worse that gets, too. He said he just backed off and let somebody go, and the thing just swapped around on it.
Okay, who's going to roll the dice in the pits now? We've seen fuel only in some of the cars up front, 2 tires. Let's find out. Go down to Alan Bestwick.
Well, David Gilliland having a terrific race. He's up in 3rd position. This team is setting itself up for the finish of this race. So the car top left of the screen, Yates Racing is going to take 4 tires, looking for a quicker stop when the final stop comes up a little bit later on. Jamie?
And Jeff Gordon comes in as the leader. First time tonight we've seen him here. He came on the radio and said, I don't know why we have to take left sides at all, but that is exactly what they're doing. They're not wearing a whole lot. Dave?
Track position 07, fuel only for the 2nd stop in a row.
Lots of strategy, a near miss on pit road. The 84 Allmendinger almost getting caught up in something.
How about Scott Riggs, 2nd place?
Ryan Newman up 7 spots. Gordon back 3. Kurt Busch up 10 positions. Boy, that'll shake it up. We'll settle it when we come back for the green flag. You're watching ESPN on ABC. Back at Lowe's Motor Speedway, this beautiful aerial coverage brought to you from our good friends at Goodyear, the official tire of NASCAR, helping NASCAR drivers get to the finish line for over 50 years. Well, it's the biggest new comedy hit since the Ice Age, and Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, it's your chance to join the club. Don't miss the show that critics are saying will revive the sitcom on network TV. Make a mandate to watch Caveman, Tuesday, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 Central on ABC. Start here. Let's take a look back at what we called Calamity Corner, Turn 4. And it all started on lap 1. 000 car of David Rudiman. Into the contact, lap 77. Tony Raines, our in-race reporter, the 96 car. Robbie Gordon in the 7 car, lap 137. He has contact with both sides up in turn 4. Lap 158, 17. One of our chasers, Matt Kenseth, comes around. It all starts on turn 4, and he pirouettes down the straightaway and pops the wall here in the front stretch. You guys talked about Calamity Corner tonight. 8 of the 11 cautions for 33 laps have all started or ended there in turn 4. Clint Boyer will start here at the start-finish line and lead him down. Scott Riggs, another good run for Riggs in that 10 car in 2nd spot, and Ryan Newman, the 12, who was our pole sitter, back in 3rd.
You're going to see a lot of haves and have-nots here. A lot of different pit strategy, 2 tires, 4 tires, stuff like that. Pretty mixed up at the moment.
Look at Kyle Busch all the way on the inside to go 3 wide and try to make the pass.
And Jamie Murray just pulls it down. McMurray pulled it down off of turn 4, drove underneath the 66 car, made that pass. But take a look at the 2 car of Kurt Busch. They continue to work on that car. Pat Tryson, the crew chief, adjusting on it. Roger Penske, the owner, calming the driver down. It's starting to pay off.
Well, Truex up high nearly got pinched up in the wall. He's right in front of Jimmy Johnson, the 48 car. Some big picture strategy now playing out, Alan Bestwick.
Well, what these teams are all doing, Doc, is trying to get themselves clean air. We've seen tonight several different times. A car gets out in front, he gets gone, he gets a big lead, while these cars scrambling around back in the traffic are struggling with the handling of their car. Their lap time's much slower. Look at Jimmy Johnson. Remember that 48 car, how many times he's been out to a lead in this race? Now he's back in traffic and struggling. All these crazy strategies on pit road are trying to set themselves up to be able to go to the finish on the fuel and tires they have, to be up front in clean air. That's what's going on down here. We'll see who gets it right in a little bit.
Andy, if you're a good crew chief, you better be a pretty good chess player. You got to be thinking way ahead on what's going to happen over the final 100 laps.
You got to start at the end of the race and work it backwards a little bit on these moves to know where you need to be. And you know, you're seeing Jimmy Johnson fight this traffic, and that's not because of his last pit strategy move. It was the one before that where they got 4 tires. This last time they got 2 tires, but they're still back here.
Down the back.
Oh, Jimmy Johnson spins around in the 48 car. loops it around, has some damage, it looks like, in the right rear.
bumper. Couldn't tell.
Back in traffic, trying to work his way through. Chad Knaus talking to his driver. We saw Jimmy Johnson spin last night.
Let's get ready. Let's get our hammers ready. Right rear's bent up just a little bit on the right side. What we got to do is we got to flatten it out. Flatten that spoiler out. Get 4 tires on those. Try to get it back here so we don't lose a lap, Jimmy.
Okay, now these guys have some work to do.
There's the damage on the 48 car. Let's see exactly what happened with Jimmy Johnson back in heavy traffic.
See him off of turn 2.
Not bad, man. We're going to be fine.
This
We're going
is
to be fine.
exactly what happened to him last night in the Busch race.
He said last night, just my fault. He said, I didn't mean to do it. It just spun the car out last night in the Busch Series race, like you said, Andy. But the thing that's different right now, he's not tore up too bad. And I really like how calm Chad Knaus is on the radio. We can fix it. Be calm. And they can fix this thing, and they can get it back in. With 103 laps to go, there's a lot of time left.
These kind of moments can cost you a championship or can win you a championship. You hear how poised and composed Chad Knaus was. Listen in.
Close up any gaps that we can. Are you ready for that?
This is the thing that
All
this
right,
team
clear
does
out, Ron.
well,
Clear out. Clear out. Clear out. Go, go, go.
is recover from something like this. And that's what a championship team has to be able to do.
4,000.
You're not going to avoid everything. You're just going to have to react to it.
All about composure and poise and leadership. You heard how composed Chad Knaus was. How good's the car? We'll find out when we come back in just a moment. Welcome back to the Bank of America 500. Now under caution for the 12th-time damage to Jimmy Johnson's car number 48.
These guys are trying to get this car back competitive. They've got some damage you got to fix. See the guys here wondering, hey, do you want to raise the car up a little bit in the back? That couldn't do anything but help us here in this situation. They still have to pass inspection after the race, but there's a little leeway. So he looks up there, and Chad's giving them all this from the top of the pit box. This crew member looks up and said, hey, do you want me to do this? You see Chad, he's just directing these guys. He's trying to get this guy out of his way so he can see the crew.
Yeah, he was pointing up and down as to which way to go, so a lot of people on that team thinking ahead, including that crew member who knew they probably needed to make an adjustment on the car. Back under green, Clint Boyer is the leader. By the way, he moves up currently to second in the chase position, and Jimmy Johnson goes back to third. But
Check out Scott Riggs.
Riggs trying to lead for the first time tonight on the bottom of the racetrack.
The 10 car of Scott Riggs has got himself in position right now. We haven't talked about him all night. Back and forth with Clint Boyer. Boyer loves that top side of the racetrack, getting a lot of bite up in the top side. But I'm really impressed with these points. He's only 38 points out of the lead behind Jeff Gordon right now. Clint Boyer is.
Scott Riggs got the free pass on lap 77, the fourth caution flag of the night to get back on the lead lap, and now he's back up there battling for the lead.
Battling Clint Boyer, and I'm telling you, Clint Boyer has done a wonderful job tonight. He's been up front all night long, been very composed. We see, Jimmy Johnson having a problem, Jeff Gordon now having to fight some of this traffic, but that 07's been up front all night long.
He has been exactly where he needed to be. He's done what he needed to do. He's kept the car out of trouble. And that's the big thing right there.
You got to give his crew chief Gil Martin some credit here, too, because this has been really hard. These guys run 10, 12, 14 laps, have these cautions, and you got to figure out what to do.
Yeah, but take a look at the 12 car, Ryan Newman. He's got this thing flying right now. He's worked on this car throughout the night. And Roger Penske's probably thinking, wow, at least I got another one back in the hunt right now, while Kurt Busch is still trying to get his car fixed.
One of our chasers who's not had a good night is standing in the garage area with Alan Bester.
And sitting in his car, helmet on. Matt, not a very good night for you. Tell us about it.
I don't know where to start. We had a pretty fast car tonight. It just we had something weird that we run 10 laps and we get so loose in the corner I could hardly hang on to it. And it was really gangbusters for 10 laps, but that's really no excuse. I really feel like an idiot out here tonight. I wrecked at least twice. It seems like we wrecked for a month straight. So really want to apologize to my fans, the car hurt, especially all these guys working on this car. I really feel bad for these guys. I really let them down.
Thanks for the time, Matt. And sorry to say, it actually has been a month straight. The fourth straight race, Matt's had trouble.
Just can't buy a break here in this chase, the former Cup champion. Boyer now pulling away a little bit from Riggs in second spot. Newman back in third, beginning to move in on Scott Riggs. And how about that 24 car of Jeff Gordon moving in on all of them?
Check out this hornet's nest behind these guys, man. I feel they've been racing hard back in here. See Tony Stewart now trying to recover from that pit road incident.
31 of Jeff Burton. They were on 3 wide going down the back straightaway into turn 3 a little while ago. Stewart, he is just trying his rear end off.
He's not going to give up.
No, he's got a pretty good looking fix on that car. That right front fender's not too bad for downforce now.
It doesn't look that great. I think the shape's fine, but it doesn't look all that great with all that tape all over it, but it's functional.
This is 14th and 15th. These two teammates for Joe Gibb Racing. 20 car of Stewart, the 11 of Hamlin. Behind him, the 0-1 car, Mark Martin, and then Carl Edwards behind Martin.
You see the damage on the left-hand side of Mark Martin's car from the pit road incident with Kurt Busch. He's got the whole driver's side door caved in that car. Doesn't seem to be affecting the handle on that much of it, though. Now, if that was the right side, it would.
What about the 48 car, Jimmy Johnson? Were the repairs good enough? Let's watch this car. He's been one of the best cars on this racetrack all night long, and watching this sail by the 84 car of Allmendinger. That puts him back up in 25th position, but a long way to go.
He's still got a lot of work to do, but it looks like his car's handling pretty well. Looks like Chad's got that thing tuned up pretty good. If they'll just keep, and this is what they can do. They'll methodically pick these guys off, and they'll get a good finish before this night's over.
Well, they keep putting shape in that right rear quarter panel, fixing it. Getting it where it makes maximum downforce. That's a key to getting this car back up front. But every time you work on it, you lose track position. So there's a point in time where he's got to stop working on it and just go for getting advancement. Advance this car up to the front.
It's just about that point of the race now. We've got 92 laps to go, one more pit stop for these guys. So they've just got to start now getting themselves some track position, getting up front.
30 cars on the lead lap, as you said, Andy, now with 91 laps to go. The 10, the 12, and the 24. That's second, third, and fourth. And now here comes Newman back to challenge for second spot.
Yeah, there's another driver getting comfortable on the top of the racetrack that Ryan Newman is. I like the attitude of this car. The nose down on the ground, the back of the car up in the air, making maximum downforce. And this team has really had a great night so far tonight. Working on the car every stop. And look where it's got him now, up in the second position.
Newman, a 7-time pole sitter at this racetrack. Remarkably, he's never won at Lowe's Motor Speedway. His best finish came second back in this race 4 years ago in 2003.
This racetrack's probably changed a little bit because we see some new guys up front, and then they're not just sitting up there, they're racing hard up there. It's not just from pit position or pit strategy. That 12 car looks strong right now, and he wasn't this strong early in the race.
Ryan Newman has been a great qualifier, but just trying to catch a break, trying to catch some luck. And we asked him about the reversal of luck.
They say that there is such a thing as racing luck. I think we missed a lot of that. But I also believe, more importantly, that you create your own luck, and we didn't do enough of that. So hopefully these last races here will prove that we can move.
And guys, just tracking their pit stops, they're one of the teams, as Alan talked about, setting themselves up to have options on their last pit stop. They will pit one more time for fuel, but they took 4 tires the last time they came down pit road. That'll give them the chance to take either 0 or 2 if they want to pick up positions.
You know, I like tires. When I was driving the car, Andy, you know, if somebody said, you want 2 or 4, I'm going to give me 4 as long as I don't lose any positions.
Oh, yeah, you want your cake and eat it, too.
That's right, man.
These two guys running second and third, the guy they're chasing. How about Clint Boyer and the kind of chase he's had? He got into chase as the 12th place car, the only driver who was able to qualify for the chase and hadn't won a race. And what did he do? First race out, he wins for the first time in his NASCAR Nextel Cup career in just his 64th start. Clint Boyer, the leader. Just 87 laps to go. By the way, he moves up to second in the chase points. Back after these messages and a word from our ABC station.
You plus me, it equals better.
I'm Matt Weiner in New York. This Sports Center Minute is powered by Vizio. The top 2 teams in college football have each lost just over in the Pac-10. Cal, 14 seconds left. Redshirt freshman quarterback Kevin Riley scrambling. He was starting for the injured Nate Longshore. Didn't leave his field goal unit enough time to get on the field. They lose to Oregon State by 3. Earlier today, number 1 LSU couldn't protect a 13-point lead. Kentucky took them to overtime, and another. Wildcats win it in triple OT, their first win over a number 1 team since 1964. ALCS Game 2 in Boston, by the way, the Red Sox lead the Indians 6-5.
And Matt, back here at the Lowe's